The Reptile, Amphibian, and Discovery Zoo, or RAD Zoo for short, is located in Owatonna. It is home to over 150 types of animals from all over the world. The zoo is the biggest of its kind in Minnesota and one of the largest in the nation. We talked with Jamie Pastica, the owner and operator of RAD Zoo, about what it's like to have a job like his.
We do have a real passion for doing this. I mean, the number of hours we have to put in, I mean, we're out here building new exhibits and get late into the night sometimes. And it does, it is a whole lot of work, but I mean, we love what we do, so it makes it all worthwhile. My name's Jamie Pastica, and I'm the director of the Reptile and Amphibian Discovery Zoo, or RAD Zoo for short, located here in Owatonna, Minnesota. The RAD Zoo is one of Minnesota's premier animal attractions. We're the largest exhibit of reptiles and amphibians in the state and one of the largest in the world. And we feature over 150 different kinds of reptiles and amphibians, as well as a few birds and fish and invertebrates. Our goal is to try to encourage the kids to have that love of wildlife, to have an appreciation for these animals. Sometimes our reptiles and amphibians are less accepted. A lot of people have that innate fear of snakes and crocodiles. We've even met people that are afraid of frogs on some of our travels. But we just try to encourage kids that these animals are an important part of nature and that they're actually very cool. We have our animals here at the zoo that the kids come and check out, and then we do traveling shows where we share animals with kids all over the state at schools, libraries, and birthday parties. And we just want to just give kids an appreciation for these unique animals. So our zoo is kind of a family business. My wife and I were both zookeepers in the past before we started up our own. We have 3 young daughters that help us out with the animals, as well as a few paid staff zookeepers. We have college interns that come help us out with the animals as well. And then a very active volunteer program. We have a lot of teen and some adult volunteers that help us make up salads for the animals and help clean them, take care of them. So we're very busy. We have a lot of help out here because we have a whole lot of animals to take care of. Owning a zoo is a full-time job and then some. I mean, we're used to caring for animals. I mean, when the animals need the care, they need the care. I mean, we had late nights where we're out here helping if an animal's sick or someone's laying eggs and we have to kind of keep an eye on things or introducing new animals. So we work usually 7 days a week to some degree, but it's labor of love. I mean, we just really enjoy what we do. I mean, getting to work with all these cool animals, and it's just something that the whole family enjoys, so it works out that way. Before we started this zoo up, I'd been a zookeeper about 10 years, my wife for several as well. And we worked at the Jacksonville Zoo together. She was in the bird department, I was in the reptile department. And when we met, I told her I wanted to one day open up a reptile zoo. And she was game for the idea, and we just kind of finished our time up there, and then we went on to work at Disney's Animal Kingdom for a while to see what one of the best zoos in the world, how they do things, what we could take away from there, the ideas and ways that they take the best care of the animals for our new facility. And we moved to Minnesota. We love the city of Owatonna. The people here have been very welcoming to us. It was tougher when we were searching for a home and a place that we could start up. A lot of cities have no reptile ordinances where you can't keep any of those animals. And the city of Owatonna did not, and we joined the Chamber of Commerce our first year here and have been a member since, and the city's just been very welcome to us. So we would like to ideally find some land near here where we can build something much larger. I think the crowd favorite and probably our biggest attraction here at the zoo is Big Al. He's about 12-foot long alligator weighing in at close to 500 pounds. I used to take care of him at the Jacksonville Zoo down in Florida. He'd been there since World War II. And when we started to open up our zoo, I contacted a friend of mine that I used to work with down at Gatorland there in Orlando. And I mentioned I was looking for a large alligator for our zoo, and he mentioned that he had acquired one a while back. He had it on one of his properties, and it was from the Jacksonville Zoo. We got to talking and realized it was an animal I'd cared for many years before. So it was kind of fun to have an animal that we already had a little bit of a relationship established there. So we loaded him up in a moving truck and drove cross country. It was a pretty interesting trip. You get to the get to the Florida-Georgia state line and they ask if you have any animals or produce to declare. And I told them I had a 12-foot alligator in the back of my moving truck, so we had all the staff from the entire office out there wanting to check out our alligator. So yeah, made for an interesting day. Reptiles do have personalities to some degree. I mean, some of those are turtles and crocodilians a lot more so, and lizards than the others. Snakes, not quite as much. They just eat and rest and not too much otherwise. But some of our lizards and crocodilians, we actually do animal training with them. When we have kids out at the zoo, a lot of times we'll call our turtles over. We'll tap on the railing. We teach them that that's the cue. We have all the kids knock on the railing, and then all of our turtles come. It's a little avalanche of turtles heading our way, and the kids get to feed them, so we do training with them. They're actually pretty bright. At one point, we had our alligators in the stage behind me here with a snapping turtle and some box turtles, and we started training the alligators that when we would tap our tweezers on the stump that they would come over to eat. After a couple months of doing that, as soon as we would tap our tweezers, every turtle in the exhibit, as well as the alligators, would be charging us in the center there, waiting for a snack. So some of them have some pretty interesting personalities. Some of the lizards are monitor lizard especially. I'm very interested in keeping this as a family business for many years to come. I'm not planning on retiring anytime soon. I just would like to buy land and just make a world-class attraction here in South Minnesota. We'd like to keep it in the family. I'm hoping that one of our 3 daughters might take on the business again. Whatever their interests are, they are. But if they would like, we'd love to keep this going and make it an attraction for another 50 to 100 years, kind of like Reptile Gardens out in South Dakota. I went there when I was 6. I thought it was the coolest place in the world, and it just inspired me to build my own. Oh, why do you come on this side so they can see your face? Duck under the snake. Right under.